Brian's Beat.
Good morning, Michelle.
Morning, she said something about her hand hurting again, so I looked at her hand, and that is when I seen the marks. And I was like, oh my God, she really wasn't kidding. Like, my daughter was stabbed with something, so I went down to the school, and I had her point out the boy who did it. And then I went to her teacher, and I said, can you explain to me when, where, and why this kid stabbed my child? And she went to the child, she asked him, and he denied stabbing my daughter. So then I went straight upstairs to the office because I was in the auditorium asking the teacher to point the student and all that. Went upstairs to the office, and I asked the principal. They pulled me into their office. They didn't want to have the conversation in front of all the other parents. So they pulled me into the office, and they asked my daughter, and my daughter proceeded to tell them the same story, that he stabbed her with a needle he had found that he was playing with in the mulch on the playground. And then they had my daughter go into the nurse's office, and the nurse said, do you mind if I look at it? And I was like, no, that's fine. So she looked at my daughter's hand, and then she's like, oh, do you care if I look at this spot? It looks like it could be a splinter. And I was like, sure, but she did say that the kid was playing in the mulch with that needle. He did not stab her on the playground. He stabbed her in the classroom with the needle. He brought the needle from the playground into the school and stabbed my daughter with it. And then my daughter threw it into the trash can that she said is outside the classroom door.
The student was examined. It was a wood chip. We would not hide anything at that. I appreciate your support of what we're trying to do at that school, and we are trying to police the area for anything that would be damaging for any child. But at that point, that situation was not a hypodermic needle. And we'll be happy to talk with anyone with that. We have no evidence from that, and the child's finger and hand was examined by our nurse. The parent was still rather upset by it and insisting, and I will tell you the parent wanted to find the actual instrument. There was nothing to be found, but I can tell you this, that we're very, very cautious about any safety issues, and I was very aware of it, but to our experience and our knowledge, it was something of a wood. And unfortunately, it was a splinter, but we are very much patrolling that area. Even though it was not something that was documented, we are very aware of what needs to happen, and we clean the playground daily.
Brian's Beat.